Black Enterprise Magazine's 10 Wealth for Life Principles. I will live within my means. I will maximize my income potential through education and training. I will effectively manage my budget, credit, debt, and tax obligations. I will save at least 10% of my income. I will use home ownership as a foundation for building wealth. I will devise an investment plan for retirement needs and children's education. I will ensure that my entire family adheres to sensible money management principles. I will support the creation and growth of minority-owned businesses. I will guarantee my wealth is passed on to future generations through proper insurance and estate planning. I will strengthen my community through philanthropy. It's Black Enterprise Magazine's 10 Wealth for Life Principles. I will live within my means. I live on what I can afford. Of course, you can afford entertainment. You can afford a pleasure trip sometimes, or a trip to the movies, or a trip out to dinner. So when you live within your means, of course, you want to live on what you can afford, but you want to set aside pleasure for yourself as a person also. I will maximize my income potential through education and training. The country is changing. Jobs that you once could get out of high school are no longer existing. Of course, the world is becoming more technological. So, you will maximize your income potential through education and training. You will get some type of training, of course, go to a 4-year university. I will effectively manage my budget, credit, debt, and tax obligations. Tax obligations. We all know many entertainers who owe the IRS. That's something you don't want. The IRS is going to get their money. So, if you do owe the IRS, you want to go and get your taxes done, get as many deductions as you can, of course, but if you owe the IRS, you want to set up payment arrangements and stay on your payment arrangements so that you can pay the IRS. You want to effectively manage your budget, meaning you set up a budget and you stick to it. You have credit. You want to effectively manage your credit and your debt. When it comes to debt, some of us with major purchases, there's going to be debt, such as homes or businesses. But other types of debt, such as frivolous type of credit card debt, you want to get rid of these type of things. You want to pay those off, and that gets to managing your credit. One of the things you can do, obviously, is you want to have the cash to back up your credit. If you want to, you go and buy something that you can afford, and then you go and pay it off. Credit companies want to see payments. They also want to see a payment history, but they also want to see that whatever somebody gave to you or fronted you, basically, then they want to see that you paid it back. I will save at least 10% of my income. Basically, that's living off of 90% of your income. We find that studies show that people live off less than that when you include mortgages and things of this nature. So, you may not begin with 10% of your income. You may start with just 1% of your income, 2% of your income, 3%, 4%, etc. And then you work your way up to 10% of your income, at least 10% of your income, and then you may go beyond saving more than 10% of your income. I will use home ownership as a foundation for building wealth. Of course, home ownership, there's, buying houses and selling houses, but of course there's a predatory lending situation. So, of course, there's equity in homes, and also when we speak on home ownership as a foundation for building wealth, we also can interpret that meaning future generations. You want to be able to pass on your home and things of that nature. I will devise an investment plan for retirement needs and children's education. Children's education. You want to make sure that you're setting something aside for your child's education. If it's nothing but enough so they can buy books, or pay for part of the year or something. You know what I'm saying? Pay for just up to an associate's degree or what have you. But you want to make sure that you have these investment plans. Your retirement needs. Social Security, of course, is volatile. Of course, Social Security also may not be all that you need, when it's time for you to retire. So you want to have you an IRA, an individual retirement account, or you want to make sure that have you something invested in stocks, bonds, or other type of investment accounts that it's something that matures with you as you age. It ages with you, and you have more money when it's time for you to retire. I will ensure that my entire family adheres to sensible money management principles. Again, this comes out of Black Enterprise magazine, 10 Wealth for Life Principles. And you can look in the magazine and find this, cut it out, blow the page up, or what have you, so that you can put it on the refrigerator, put it on the mirror, put it wherever. But you want to make sure your family stays on your budget. Make sure the family is following sensible money management principles. As in, one thing the grocery store does is has impulse purchases. You know what I'm saying? When you're at the checkout counter, right there is some gum, right there is a candy bar, or what have you. And then you want to make sure that you're not always falling into the impulse purchases or things of that nature. So you want to ensure that the family adheres to sensible money management principles. And that includes, husbands and wives staying on budgets also. I will support the creation and growth of minority-owned businesses. If we set aside a day where we just shop at minority-owned businesses. If you have a minority-owned business near you, shop at it. Support the growth of minority-owned businesses. Small businesses or minority-owned businesses, of course, are businesses that employ many people. You'll support the creation, as in not only when you see someone starting up, you support them, but you yourself may want to start a business and, get on it. I will guarantee my wealth is passed on to future generations through proper insurance and estate planning. You want to make a will. You want to make sure that people, that your future generations, your children, what have you, are taken care of in case something happens to you. And of course, we all know that we're finite, so that one of the things that will happen is, you need to just make sure that it's something left. Homes, you want to make sure that inside of your will, you dictate what's supposed to happen with your home. Also, you want to make sure you get the proper insurance plans and things like that. Read through your insurance plans. I will strengthen my community through philanthropy. Now, of course, for all of us are not philanthropists as some of the larger philanthropists, but we will just say that you want to strengthen your community through donations. You may have organizations that are doing different things, and you give periodically, every 3 months, every month, once a week, once a year. You know what I'm saying? And you give these donations and to community-based organizations or what have you, or national organizations that are working inside the community. And this is Black Enterprise Magazine's 10 Wealth for Life Principles. I will live within my means. I will maximize my income potential through education and training. I will effectively manage my budget, credit, debt, and tax obligations. I will save at least 10% of my income. I will use home ownership as a foundation for building wealth. I will devise an investment plan for retirement needs and children's education. I will ensure that my entire family adheres to sensible money management principles. I will support the creation and growth of minority-owned businesses. I will guarantee my wealth is passed on to future generations through proper insurance and estate planning. I will strengthen my community through philanthropy. Black Enterprise Magazine's 10 Wealth for Life Principles.